Oh my god, I don't know how to react to this game, and I don't know how to react to the news that Southampton have done 2 undefeated games in a row in the Premier League, and it just feels so good. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today's been a pretty interesting day of football so far, and things are going pretty well for Saints, as it turns out, winning 1-0 away at Sheffield United, and I'm astounded by this result, mostly because I came into today expecting us to lose. I had fully resigned myself to the fact that I was pretty sure we wouldn't get anything out of the game, and for us to somehow, probably very much against the run of play, come and win 1-0 against a really good Sheffield side is ridiculous, and I have no idea really how to take that in. If you're new to this channel, what I tend to do is give my opinions on how the game flowed, the things that happened in it, the individual performances of players, particularly on the Southampton side, because that's the team I support, and just give my opinions on what unfurled today. So I think that a safe place to start is with the 2 biggest things that happened in today's game, or the 3 actually. So. Oh well, I think there was more than 3 because there were a lot of VAR incidents. So the first one will be the disallowed goal for Sheffield. It was an offside goal where the person who scored the goal wasn't actually offside, but before the ball went into the net, another player, I can't remember who it was offside and thought that he didn't play the ball, but he played enough of a part to look like he was going to play the ball that the keeper was blindsided, the defenders were confused, and it obviously set in motion VAR disallowing the goal. It was a good goal, and for the entire game we looked on the back foot really, and Sheffield looked a lot better than us and probably realistically deserved something out of this game. But I'm very very pleased that that goal was disallowed, rightly so. I think there's some kind of discrepancy. I wasn't actually quite sure if it was going to be ruled out for offside, because you could tell that the first player was offside. However, he didn't actually touch the ball, so I know in certain situations you just have to be interfering with play, but I felt that in the grand scheme of things he didn't play the ball, and you could have argued maybe that it should have counted, but I guess the fact that he distracted the keeper by almost heading the ball towards the goal is enough. So there's 2 other things. The first is Djenepo, who's come in his first Premier League start and has scored a Wondergoal. I think I prefer this one to his one against Brighton, just because of the sheer quality. Obviously the first goal against Brighton was amazing because it was a fantastic finish. This time though, it was a fantastic finish and fantastic build-up play by Djenepo. It was a complete wonder goal really, and I'm really proud of him. So I can't really play replays in my head, but as far as I can remember, he received the ball after tackling a clearance, and then fought off a defender who was clearly fouling him. Referee played at a fantastic advantage because it didn't look like Djenepo could actually go anywhere, being tugged back, shirt being pulled, basically being strangled. And then he kind of wriggles free of that challenge, does a really cutesy little back heel to heel flick to create some space, takes it around a couple of defenders, fake shot, defender slides in, he's out of the game, and then a fantastic low finish into the bottom corner, and wow, what a goal. Fantastic. And his first Premier League start, that's just brilliant. And we really need players like that to step up to the plate, because we don't have Redmond at the moment, he's still injured, and we need those wingers who may not get that much game time when Redmond's actually in the squad to really show what they're about, and he's done that today, and that part at least of the game was fantastic, his goal. The other big thing is Billy Sharp's red card, and it was very similar to the red card that I can't remember who it was, I think it was Andone, I can't remember. Player for Brighton got sent off against Saints when we beat them, and he essentially just went in over the ball, studs up, and it was a shame actually, because Billy Sharp was played for Saints for a bit and he was pretty good. So Ollie and I were talking and we were saying he's come on, he's going to score now against us, but he just did a stupid reckless challenge, and it wasn't as bad as some that you see, but he clearly had no intent for the ball, going in with his studs up like that. I think it was into Armstrong, into his shin, but it was just a terrible challenge, and it's a red card. So I can't really see how people could argue against that being a red card. And what I found the most entertaining about that was the referee saying that VAR isn't going to change this, just get off the pitch. He wasn't even going to wait and see if there was a second opinion, because he knew. And that's probably the best thing the referee did today, because realistically he didn't have a fantastic game. Right, so those are 3 big game moments. So now I'm going to go through the Saints squad and talk about how I think individually people performed. So as a team, I thought this lineup that we decided to come in with was very, very weird. We had Cedric playing on the right, but Djenepo ended up playing left wing back, and that was so strange to me, because Djenepo is so attacking. I mean, you saw his goal. He's good at defending when he's in an attacking position, but his defensive play isn't great. So he's happy to track back and kind of clean up things for us on the left-hand side, but in terms of being on the left-hand side to prevent things from happening in the first place, he isn't in the game. And there were so many opportunities for Sheffield, realistically, where the diagonal ball got played over our back 3, and Djenepo was nowhere to be seen because he's too high up and he's not watching for the run behind him. So the actual formation to begin with was really dodgy, and we ended up switching it out by putting, I can't remember, did we put Cedric? Yeah, we put Cedric on the left-hand side and Ward-Prowse playing on the right, and that fixed things immediately, and we immediately looked a lot, well, not that comfortable, but more comfortable in defence. So shape-wise, very interesting game. We only played 1 striker, which is different for us, but I guess it paid off with the 1-0 win. So let's go through the team. Got Angus Gunn in goal, who I'm stuck on how to pick a man of the match for this game, because Gunn was fantastic. When we called on him, there were a couple of really big chances for Sheffield where they really weren't that far out, where he made some big saves, and fair play to him. I think because I'm always worried about Saints keepers. We have a track record of having good spells and then awful spells, but he seems to be fairly consistent at the moment, and he's doing well. So I think Gunn is up there with the man of the match performances. Bednarek, I didn't see much of him in the game. I think mostly because in terms of our defenders, I was dragged more towards Vestergaard and a bit of Yoshida, just because they seem to be the people who were making mistakes. So I guess that's a good point in Bednarek's book. He just kind of didn't take any shit and cleared the ball and did his job. So I think he played well, but there were no defensive man of the match performances apart from Gunn, really. Yoshida played in the middle of our back 3, which was interesting because when we played against Man United, he came on as a left back. So Ollie and I were assuming that Vestergaard would be playing in the middle of the 3 like he normally does, but it turned out that Vestergaard played on the left-hand side and Yoshida played in the middle, and that was interesting. And basically it ended up screwing us over a bit because Vestergaard couldn't cope very well with the runs of people. We thought he was going to get sent off because he's playing on the left-hand side, the wingers are trying to play round him, and it was very dodgy. But Yoshida made a few mistakes, but he seemed to be relatively solid in defence and just slowed everything down and tried his best. And for he's quite old, you know, and it's quite impressive to see him still putting in a performance that was relatively decent. Vestergaard didn't do much today. I'm really annoyed because he's in my fantasy team and I thought he'd do better today. He got a yellow card, the only yellow card we got. But he just looked out of the game, and I think that's from where we ended up playing him. I feel like maybe we didn't play Yoshida on the left-hand side because he's older and he doesn't quite have the fitness to keep running that much. So we put him in the middle, obviously, and Vestergaard on the left, but it didn't really work out. I'd like to see Vestergaard playing in the middle again because that seems to be where he's most confident, having people playing around him, and he can slow down the game a lot more, because when he was in defence and kind of passing out from the back, he looked a lot more confident than when he was defending. Cedric played on the right-hand side to begin with and then moved over to the left-hand side, and I think he had a really good game. He's very small, kind of strong, but that's about it for Cedric. And playing in the Premier League, everyone's really tall and strong, and he actually put in a good defensive spell. Nothing really took a shine for me. He didn't do anything particularly amazing, but I think he played well, and it's good to see him back in the team. I miss Valerie, but it's nice to see Cedric performing. The other player who I think realistically has a man of the match performance is Romeu, who for the last few games has been outstanding, just taking his time, letting everyone play off of him, not taking any bullshit from any other player, and just putting in massive tackles, slowing the game down, playing some fantastic passes, and just being there for pretty much anyone on the right, on the left, or in the middle, just to receive a pass and let people run off of him. And he was fantastic. And Commentary teams tend to, in my experience, talk a lot more about the opposition, but when I was watching the game, all they could talk about on the Saints side was Romeo's performance. So I think he caught the eye, not just for me, but for a lot of people. So he did fantastically today, and so it's between him and Gunn in terms of man of the match. Højbjerg made a few mistakes in midfield, but again he looked solid. I think Højbjerg's problem is that he's a bit more direct than Romeo, who likes to run and play some intricate passing and run on, and at the moment it meant that he was playing, because the game was really scrappy to watch, it meant that he was playing passes that weren't sensible, kind of chipping it over defenders and such, and that's not the game we want to play. We want to slow things down and play on the ground. So a few times he lost the ball by kind of doing keepy ups over people, and it just seemed out of his character, and I'd like to see him and Romeo really working together to slow down the game. But again, I don't think Højbjerg had a bad game. Djenepo got subbed off in the 74th minute because he looked knackered, but as I was saying earlier, he started on the left hand side and left wing back position, didn't look in the game at all, was leaking defensively constantly, and then when we realised that wasn't the case, Hasenhüttl immediately put him further up forward, put Cedric on the left and Ward-Prowse on the right, and then he had so much more freedom. We didn't really have many chances in this game. Like if we look at how many shots we had 11 shots. 7 of them were on target though. Like we had a decent game, but yeah, attacking wise we weren't in the game anywhere near as much as Sheffield had, and they had so many chances. But Djenepo took his chance, and that was fantastic. I'm really proud of him because he's come into the squad. Obviously it's quite tough to get into a starting 11 for a Premier League side, and he played brilliantly and scored a beautiful goal. That's 2. He's our top scorer at the moment, so fair play to him. Ings came on 74th minute. Didn't really do anything, but was really good and instrumental in holding the ball up a little bit up front, getting us a few corners just here and there, completely against the run of play, and for that I applaud him. I'd like to see him start again, because him and Adams, I'd like to see them working together and getting some goals, but I don't know why we started 1 up front today. Be better with 2 in my opinion. Ward-Prowse played in the middle and then played right wing back in the middle. He looked pretty good, pretty pacey, and obviously I think he's more of a utility man that Hasenhüttl can put into weird positions just because he knows how to perform. He has played on the right wing back position before, so I think he played well and made up for the weird performances in defence we had in the first half, and was decent. Nothing again of note. He whipped in a few good corners, but we didn't have any attacking threat from those really. Boufal started the game with Djenepo. It was quite interesting to see both of them in the squad, and wow, I think he played fantastically. Right at the start, there were a few chances where he was running and lost the ball, but he looked so solid on the ball and unselfish. He wasn't going for stupid shots, he wasn't going for stupidly long runs. He was holding up play sometimes and playing the simple pass to get into a better position, and that's so much better to see. With a player with so much flair, you kind of expect them to be selfish and stuff, but he was selfish in the right way. If he thought he could take someone on, he did, but if he thought there was a bit of a missed opportunity, he'd pass it back and go again, and he played fantastically. He got subbed off for Armstrong in the 85th minute. Not too sure on Armstrong, just because I feel like he's given away a few dodgy things against us in the past, giving a penalty to Man United, if I remember rightly, that Pogba missed, but we still lost that game. But when Armstrong came on, he didn't really do anything. It was only in the 85th minute, so he didn't actually have much to do. Adams didn't do anything. He's a big striker, and he cost us a lot of money, and his recent performances haven't been great, but I think that today he actually played brilliantly. He played 92 minutes this game, which is kind of surprising, because I think he's been subbed off every single game so far, but he was brilliant, and he didn't get many shots away. He got an amazing shot in the first half, hit the post, really, really unlucky, fantastic technique. I just want him to score, because then once he's scored, he's got that confidence, and I reckon he'll be unstoppable. But he played brilliantly. He was always there for people to play off of. He had a bit of pace. Him and Boufal linked up fantastically well. And also he kind of made quite a few attacking runs and was able to hold the play up a bit. So that's good from him. But he just needs a goal. If people are going to slate him for his performance today just because he isn't scoring, I think that's very rude. But it's also kind of... It's focusing on one thing, one item of his play that he isn't hitting. But in terms of every other aspect, he's tackling, it's all right. I guess. But in terms of his hold-up play and letting people play off of him, his passing, it's been pretty good. And we just need him to get a clear-cut opportunity, and he'll be fine. Long came on for 3 minutes at the end and didn't do anything, so yeah, I can't really comment on his performance. But I think that from this game, like I say, I didn't expect us to win. I didn't expect us to draw. So it's quite interesting to see us get a whole point out. We're now in 10th position, joint with West Ham. Like, that's fantastic. We're currently joint 8th, I guess. So, like, wow, that's fantastic for us, considering the last few seasons haven't been great. We've got so much room to improve, but I think that we're playing well, and I really, really hope that we keep at it, because that's a lot of points. 7 points is a lot of points, and especially when, like, we get a point against Man United and we get 3 points against Sheffield United side, who've been fantastic this season so far. I'm just impressed, and I'm really proud of the team. I think they've done really well today, very surprisingly well. But that's all you need. You need surprises. You need some good standard of play from surprise teams. Anyway, I'm kind of waffling, although that is what I do. Let's look at the fixtures for the next few games. We're playing against Bournemouth next Friday. That's a home game, so I'm hopeful that we're going to win that match, because Bournemouth haven't looked fantastic recently. Really hoping for 3 points there, because we need that confidence going into the South Coast Derby, which is the following Tuesday, the 24th of September. So we've got, like, the practice derby and then the real derby, and I'm so excited, and I really hope that I can make a very confident, happy video after thrashing Portsmouth. But then we've got Tottenham and Chelsea, so it's going to be difficult. I could see us getting a point against Tottenham. I can see us losing to Chelsea. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, I've waffled on for too long. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like. Comment down below what your opinions on the match were, what you guys thought of Saints' performance, what you guys thought of Sheffield's performance if you're Sheffield fans. And yeah, just let me know. Subscribe if you want to see my opinions on the rest of Southampton's fixtures. I'm also going to do a few videos on other matches here and there, like maybe when the Champions League starts, I'll do some Champions League kind of videos, so I'm not just focusing on Southampton. But in the grand scheme of things, it's better to focus on Saints games, because if I did a video on, like, a Man United game, there's like 20 million people who also do that, and then I won't get any traction or views. So it's better to do Saints games, especially against non-top 6 teams. So hopefully this video gets a few views and you guys have enjoyed it. Anyway, I will see you guys next week for the Bournemouth game. That'll be on Friday evening. I'll make that video. It's going to be quite a late one because it's an 8 o'clock kickoff, but yay. Exciting times we have, and yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll see you soon. Until then, take care and bye.